Okay, for today, we've got recipes that we're going to be using bananas. The first one is a banana blueberry cobbler. Now this one has a streusel on it. I always prefer to put a little bit of streusel, make it a little extra sweetness to it. Something about, especially when that brown sugar kind of glazes over it, oh, it's wonderful. And then the second one is a banana strawberry tostada. That one I'm actually going to show you 2 or 3 different alternatives to it because there's so much you can do with that one recipe just using that as the base. I've literally made hundreds of versions of that, and it's just left up to what your preference are and your own creativity and how you want to work with that one. And the last one is a grilled bananas with a chocolate and caramel sauce. Now of course if you don't have an open grill, you can still skillet fry them, that's no problem. One thing you want to keep in mind about with that one, that it will stick rather quickly, so you got to kind of watch it, especially if you're doing it in a flat pan. This one is a ridged one. If you have those, it gives the markings like you do for grilling, but it also allows the air to move under it, and it keeps it from sticking quite as bad. Okay. Now, in fact, right now I'm working with a root beer reduction sauce. And what that is, it's 1 cup of root beer and 1 cup of balsamic vinegar. It takes about 45 minutes to let that really cook down to its nice thick syrup. And those alternatives I told you about, the banana strawberry tostadas, that's going to be used in one of those. So I'll show you those in here in a little bit. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start off with the cobbler. We can grab us a baking dish. Now make sure you spray this really good. Because that will stick on you if you're not careful. Okay, and as with most cobbler batters, a general rule of thumb is remember 1 cup, 1 cup, 1 cup. You got 1 cup of self-rising flour, 1 cup of sugar, and 1 cup of milk. Now it is important to use the self-rising flour because you will notice a difference in the way it cooks if you use like an all-purpose flour, because it won't rise as much. It will be a little bit flatter, and you can tell the difference in the texture as well because it'll be more dense, not quite as light and fluffy as when you're using the self-rising. Okay. Let's grab us a mixing bowl. Pan. This is your basic like 9 by 13 is the one I'm using here. Okay. I always just kind of go ahead and mix that up just a little bit, get that sugar in there. Make you a little well in there for the milk. Okay. Go ahead and mix that up. Now I've had people ask me, well, can you put flavor in there, like a little vanilla flavor? You really don't need it. Okay, this is where I want to mix in a little bit of butter. And this is why you don't really need it, because when you cook that with the butter, it gives it a nice rich flavor that way. Although I have done flavored batters before. Okay, let's go ahead and pour that in there. Alright, just let that spread out a little bit. Go ahead and take your blueberries. Chop up a couple bananas. Depending on how many bananas or how strong of a banana flavor you want, you can put in between 2 and 4. I wouldn't go above that, because when this cooks down, those bananas are going to soften up really nice, and you're not going to hardly see them because they're actually going to really cook into the batter really well. There you go. Now for the streusel, I'm going to take the brown sugar, flour, somewhere I had butter, there it is. Okay. Now what you're looking for is for this to crumble up. You don't want to form like a solid ball of like you would if you're doing dough for bread. You don't want to really take a whisk or anything to it because you don't want to turn it into an actual batter. As you can see, it's making small little clumps in there, and that's what you want. Okay. Then all you need to do is sprinkle that on top. Now, of course, you can adjust, you can do strawberries and blueberries, or bananas and strawberries, or mixed berries. Okay, now you do want to wrap this up in aluminum foil for at least the first 3/4 of the way. Let that cook approximately 30 minutes with aluminum foil on it, then remove it and give it another 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how deep you have this too, because some people may have slightly longer pans, which you can cook that in there, it's going to be a little thinner, but you got to be careful on how it cooks when you do it that way. So that's why the times, sometimes need to be adjusted for that. Okay. Once it comes out, it gives that nice golden brown color, and it's got a real fluffy texture, almost like a bread pudding, along the top part. But you got that where the brown sugar caramelizes on the top, so it gives that real nice sweetness to the top, as well as the berries and stuff into it.